Hey, family. This is the Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation Show. There we go. There we go. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation Show. There we go. There we go. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation Show. Hey, family. How you doing, Baltimore? Baltimore? Big bald head black dude in the house, B. Morris City. You know what? I was sitting up here reading up on some stuff. My nephew, I call my nephew, had put up a prompt, right? It was about the Democrats and the Republicans actually. He put up a prompt about their agreement with things, and I went to comment on it, but I had to go down. I had to go down because y'all know me as a human rights advocate, as somebody that argue with our politicians because we hired them to do a job for us. And y'all know if I feel like they're not doing what they supposed to do, I run off at my mouth. So when I'm starting to learn, family, they got a job to do, right? And we have a job to do too. And the reason why I'm saying this because as a human rights advocate, right? As a community activist, as a community organizer, as a homeless advocate, the only thing I'm saying basically, y'all, strengthen the community. All right, I'm going to say it again. Strengthen the community. I love Baltimore City. Born and raised almost a day at a time, February the 20th. It'll be 64 years for me. I know I look good. I already know that. And what I try not to do as much as I can, let life stress me the heck out. And y'all know how that goes, right? So Baltimore City, I love y'all. And I love the work y'all doing in Baltimore City to slow a lot of the criminal behaviors down. I thank God that the homicide rate by Pew Pew, the unalive rate by Pew Pew is down. I'm really, really proud of that. And I contribute that to a lot of the nonprofits and businesses that's in Baltimore City. You know, I know we want to blame the mayor for stuff. I know we want to blame the governor for stuff. I know that we want to blame the commissioner, the council members, and all of that for stuff. But y'all got to understand, they can't be everywhere at one time. So it's the people. You get me? It's the people that has to come together and do the necessary work. But now, what I want to do, I was reading up about strong morals, right? And I'm talking about my morals, my values, my principles. I had to learn over the years, family, mainly because of how I used to live. I don't live like that no more. And living this new way of life, I had to set boundaries. I had to gain courage and confidence to be able to move forward in life the way I do today. You know, that's why I'm just look. Baltimore City is my home. Baltimore City is my home. I don't have no plans on moving nowhere, going nowhere, none of that. Baltimore City is my home. And the goal is where you fell down at, you have to learn to build back up, right? You got to go into those communities where we tore it down during that time, back in the days where you was more of a destruction, where you was more where you was turn your community down. That's all I'm trying to get to, family. And we going back, and the goal is to start rebuilding. And when I say rebuilding, I'm talking about the community, the people, helping the people to understand whatever life you're living, you can turn that around if it's destructive. You get me? You can learn to live a more productive way of life. I got 33 years in that area, and it wasn't something that changed overnight. But when I say that, I live a more conservative lifestyle today. And I love it. I love the peace that I have in my life. I love the work that I do. Being an ordained deacon, I got ordained deacon in 2009. But in my heart, deep down in my heart, and in my soul, in my spirit, I am a minister for Christ. I am. Deep down in my spirit, even though I got ordained deacon back in 2009, I feel like deep down in my spirit, I am a minister for Christ. Or we can say evangelist, because the goal is to help build back up in the inner poor communities. And when you look at Christ, now I'm saying this right, so I'm looking at when Christ came to this earth, and he told the disciples, he said, or the apostles, he said, come, follow me. I will make you fishers of men. Because they was real good at fishing. They was excellent at fishing. So that's why he felt as though he can help. I mean, he can work with, they can work with him. And he will teach them how to be able to fish for men and women and children. So when y'all hear me talking, that's what I'm talking about. I'm just a messenger. I am a fisher of men, women, and children. The goal is to help those that's looking for help the most. Look at the people Christ came to. Look at the people Christ came to. They was blind. One was blind, the blind man. Then he opened up his eyes. Now, guess what? I can sit back and say, once I was blind because of the old lifestyle, right? But now I see. It's like he had to shut me down, Kofi, and open up my eyes. So now when I say stuff like once I was blind, but now I see. When I say once I was lost, but now I'm found. I'm not just saying it to be repeating. I mean, to quote scripture. Once I was lost, and that's personal for me. Once I was lost, but now I'm found. And I'm going to say this too, because I'm looking at Baltimore City, right? Now, y'all know throughout the years that I've been doing my talk show, I come hard. I come rough. I come real. I come real. And y'all know that. And I know to some of y'all, it's like his behavior is unprofessional, stuff like that. You call it what you want. But what I start realizing, I'm that deep inside of me, I am a spiritual warrior for Christ. My mouth is my biggest weapon. So do not ever tell me how I need to deliver a message. It might be some people out there that's roughnecks. I'm going to put it like that, right? That's roughnecks. They might need to hear a hardcore message. So God works with us in his own special way. And throughout the years, yes, I prayed to be more humble. I prayed to be more intellectual. I prayed to be more professional when I deliver a message. And God said, I created you just the way I wanted you to be. So the goal is for me, family, is not to be, if you see me being arrogant, self-centered, and all that type of stuff, I want to say, okay. Because that's my way of just standing firm on my beliefs. Then if you the type of person that like to compromise your morals and values and principles, then you won't understand where I'm coming from. You won't. Because if you the type, right, that wants to be over here with this crew and lick, 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 then you want to be over here with this crew and lick, 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 lick. Understand Steve not like that. Steve not like that. I did a lot of that bull crap when I was in the streets. As far as trying to, you know, I'm hustling and trying to be the man and all of that. No, today I learned to stand firm and strong on my morals, my values, my principles, and they all spiritual. When I say I'm a loving, caring, kind, considerate person, when I say I'm not that rotten, no good person that I used to be, God did this, not me personally. So a lot of y'all might not understand. And be honest with you, I'm at a point in my life, it doesn't matter whether you understand or not, because God called me. But I tell you what, y'all know I done met a lot of great people in Baltimore City. I met a lot of great people. Y'all doing some great work, but a lot of us went our own separate ways with stuff. I ain't mad at what's up, I ain't mad at that at all. Sometimes I be thinking about popping up here and there just to holler at y'all. But I understand God has me on a purpose like he have y'all on a purpose. Or wherever you at. I'm telling you, I'm proud of y'all from a distance. I might not say it a lot, Baltimore City, but I am so proud of the work y'all doing. I'm really, really proud. When I can look at the news, when I see We Ours Us, when I see Safe Streets, when I see Uncle T, when I see Damon Cooper, when I hear people like Erica Bradford, come on, Baltimore Peace Movement, Yolanda Pulley, come on, Cherie Rogers, come on, Chef, you know, come on, y'all know I know a lot of y'all. And I know a lot of y'all doing some great work in Baltimore City. I'm talking about the ones with the organizations. Well, I'm not just going to blame it on the organizations as far as doing the great work, because it's the community as a whole that has to come together to slow a lot of this down. Baltimore City, a city in crisis. Y'all know I spoke out on that. Me and Manure. Mackenzie Frost and them did a show with me and Manure. I came out and I spoke on the 6th District, Sharon Middleton District, Park Heights. Now, a lot of y'all in Baltimore City, I know you might not like my approach, but understand, it's about keeping it real. Brandon Scott, I love you, bro, and you know that. Antonio Hayes, I love you, bro, and you know that. James Torrance, I love you, bro, and you know that. Y'all in the 7th District. Kwaisi, I love you, bro, and y'all know that. I had to learn to respect these guys. These are politicians in Baltimore City. Governor Westmore, I know they doing the best they can, but it's the people. And that's what I started realizing. It's the people that has to do the work. You can point fingers at Brandon Scott all you want. You can point the fingers at Governor Westmore all you want. They aren't in the communities to wreak havoc on the communities. It's the people in the community that got to come back together. Y'all remember we used to talk about that village at one point? It's the village. It's the community. As a community organizer, somebody that came from the streets, somebody that don't have a problem coming back into the community where we can have monthly meetings about organizing the community, the village, like Unc said, because it's going to take the people. A lot of times y'all sit up here and y'all want to talk about the Black Wall Street is gone. The Black Wall Street is not gone. That's your inner city Black poor community. It's about building back up. That's your Black Wall Street. It ain't gone nowhere. They trying to destroy it, but it ain't gone nowhere. They started to do gentrification. They started to do gentrification. So they're putting more expensive houses into the inner city, right? Where's they putting the people? I bet you y'all don't ask that question, do you? Where they putting them? So what you do, right, to slow the process down of moving them out, you start with them wreaking havoc in their city. Come on, where y'all think that F come from? The fentanyl and the opioid stuff, the epidemic, and TikTok. For TikTok's sake, we love TikTok because I know certain things you can't mention on TikTok. But I'm just saying this with y'all, Baltimore City, because we know what's happening. We know. And you might not be caught up, right? You might not be caught up with certain things. And I'm talking about smug abuse, right? You might not be caught up. But the ones that been caught up, well, that's caught up and been doing it for years, it's a habit. It's something hard to break. So y'all might say stuff like, oh, they should just stop. They should just, that sounds real good. And eventually, yes. But God darn it, when you caught up and you ain't dealing with what's going on in the inside, I'm telling you, that's the way you kind of suppress your pain and your misery. So my thing is, anytime I deal with our politicians, my thing is we need to get to the root cause. Ask Brandon Scott and them when I talk with them. We need to get to the solution, to the root cause of why people behaving the way they are. So for somebody that lived that lifestyle and been through that, I can share with them. But guess what? Some of them, their goal is not to help make changes. Some, I ain't say all, but some. You got some politicians like Corey McCray. You got Sean Stanton, who does great work. I see them all the time on LinkedIn. I'm so proud of them. In the community, I'm so proud of them. I'm really, really proud of them. But now, I'm only saying this, right, Baltimore City, because a lot of y'all might not know who they are, but I know who they are. I know who they are. They are our politicians. Corey is a senator. James Torrance is a congressman for the 7th District. And when I first met James Torrance, I told him, I said, I'm going to be nice to you. I'm going to be nice, because at that time, y'all know I was coming real hard, Baltimore City. You know, I was coming hard. So when I met James Torrance, I told him, I said, I'm going to be nice to you because I'm giving him a chance to do what he got to do for the people. So when I seen him in the community and he seen me at the recreation center when that young lady got unalive, right, the 13-year-old, I went over there. And he told me, he said, I told you I'm in the community. I said, man, I'm proud of you. You know, so I'm just saying this, family, because a lot of y'all, and be honest with you, Baltimore City, y'all might not have the courage and the confidence to speak out. But what I had to do as a community organizer, being with Communities United, I had to get in the community to find out what nonprofits are in the community. Because you can have a nonprofit in the 1000 block of Fulton Avenue. You can have one in the 1500 block of Fulton Avenue. And they don't even know they like blocks apart. So what I started doing as a community organizer, I started coming into the communities to those that have nonprofits to see what they're doing to slow a lot of this criminal behaviors down. Because anytime you have a nonprofit in the community, that's your way of telling the state and the federal government that, look, I'm starting this 501c3. And basically, you put in that program and you're working with the people. So you gathering the people together and you coming with solutions. So that's what I started doing, going into the communities to see what organizations actually there, you know, and actually doing the work. So I met a lot of great people during this time. That's how I met Christina Flowers. That's how I met I'm trying to think of that's how I met a lot of them. But I was trying to think of God dang it, my girl name, right? It will not pop in my head. I said it earlier. But the same things what I had to do, family, rather Democrats or rather Republicans. And this is what I was getting ready to share on your platform, Mr. Petty. One, they all work together. The Democrats and the Republicans do not believe the hype. It's just some of them believe in the same things and some don't, right? Because you got to look at the human being as a whole. So I'm going to share this, and then I'm gonna just throw something at the two guys that just came up, family. When he put up the platform about the Democrats, keep in mind, the Democrats are the ones that create programs, just in case you fall on hard times. Now, y'all might think, in some cases, yes, let me back it up some. Some people play with the program, right? They use it for their benefit. But the whole thing is they was created to be a temporary solution, not a permanent. Welfare and all of that. It wasn't created to be permanent, right? Temporarily. Now, on top of that, that's what the Democrats believe in helping the people. Now, the Republican Party, they want people to learn to be more independent and not rely on the state and the government. So I got that. And that's what I loved. I'm going to put the on that end about them. So when I met them, being in the community, my thing is, come on, Republicans, because y'all said y'all talked a good goddamn, almost curse. Y'all talked a good goddamn going game. I'm in the community. We had programs in the community. I said, come on, because y'all want to help them be more independent. So now that's what the LaTanya D. Copeland House of Hope is all about, helping the people that's relying on state and government funding to be more independent. I asked y'all to come with me. Where y'all at? Where you at? And that's why I'm mad at a lot of y'all freaking Republicans. Because y'all talk a good goddamn game, and god dang it, I almost cursed. Y'all talk the good game, and my thing is, come on, so we can create programs to help them be more independent. That's what I love about y'all's statement. Then I understand what Trump is doing. I understand what he's doing. The whole goal is, right? The whole goal is for us to be more independent on our own stuff. Y'all help me to understand this, where we can create our own stuff and don't have to look for overseas for stuff. I got that. But my thing is, where the hell y'all at? Y'all talk a good game. I left the Democratic Party. I became a freaking Republican. When y'all did what you did, my finger went up towards y'all. And let me watch that, because they kind of blocked me before last time. But once I realized y'all was full of crap too, the whole goal was, Steve, continue doing what you're doing. And that's for people that's coming up with solutions. The only things that the lawmakers can do is create laws. And if you break them, you know what happens. Now, guess what? I was reading up on it, because somebody made a statement about the constitutional rights. The constitutional rights, when I read up on it, because I went back to the Old Testament laws, the 5 books of Moses. I'll drop you, bro. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I read up on it. I got the amendments. I got the constitutional rights down. So anyway, they are laws that was actually created from the Old Testament laws. But what they trying to say is, it's not to throw the Bible in it, but during the times when they wrote them, these were like Christian people. They was what's that other name for them? Protestant, something like that, right? That other name. But anyway, this is where they kind of got the idea from. And it's basically teaching you how to live a better morally quality of life, integrity wise, right? Now they even added up is 631 laws in the 5 books for people like to be structured. Now part of it said no, but then as you read further down, they kind of got the ideas from it, right? And it started explaining it, but it didn't want to make it more of a religious thing. And I got that too. That's why I said when you hear me talk, I talk about organized religion and politics. It's what enslaves and oppresses the people. And basically, that's what they don't want them to do, is put in the religious side of stuff. So as I was reading it, I'm like, okay, because I've been saying it all along. But now I want to go back into it because number one, I asked the guy, where did the laws come from? Because he was talking about the constitutional rights, right? The Constitution is not laws.
Right.
And I got that. But basically they are. Because they was I read from that, right? But they don't want you to know because they don't want you to feel like it's for man to have their own rights, not to be dominated by religion or by politics. It's for man to have his own rights. It talks about we the people. And as I was reading further into it, and it's like, thank you, right? Because I've been saying it all along. I've been saying it. I had to download the constitutional rights. Not only that, you got to understand what the amendments are. Not only that, you got to understand that laws that they create can be ratified. Laws that they create today that tends to hurt people, they can be ratified. It's just the point, if you don't know, you won't understand. But it's work that needs to be done because you have to get like a politician or somebody that created a bill. And I'm going to use the AB as an example. I'm not deep into it. I didn't read all that, but I know number one, it can be ratified where it might be a certain point, like months wise, so many months or weeks or something like that, right? That a woman might can get it. If it's not, say like in Baltimore City, they kind of abolish certain things, but they can go to Chicago and get one. I'm just using that as an example, right? So some cities, they it all depends on how their politicians or their lawmakers looked into it to fix it where, yes, if this happened, that happened, yes, you can, and then no, you cannot. Right. So I'm not deep into that. The reason why I'm saying that, family, because I'm a male, right? But women better understand that than me. So the thing is getting with lawmakers, getting with your politicians that's creating policies or bills that will adjust that will adjust it. That's all it is. That's called ratification. They can go in and switch things around, even though I could be completely wrong. So that's why I'm starting to stutter, right? Because a lot of the black women think it just refers to them to not have ABs. But I believe it's women in general.
Hey, OG.
Come on,
Good to see you, bro.
You too, bro.
Let me say that and hello to the other superstar you got on the panel. The only thing that makes me mad, I sat over there today, and I'm not, I'm just not all the laws and this, that, and that, but it's good to hear people talk about this when you like a man like me that don't know this type of stuff. You know what I mean? I didn't know the program when I walked into it, but I walked into it, right? But then when you get people arguing and fussing like they was, and of course, you drop down, you know what I mean? It ain't get no better, you know what I mean? So I got out of that confusion, you know what I mean? Because some people want to know this stuff, you know. But the way you explain it, that's something totally different. You ain't fussing, you ain't arguing, you ain't beating nobody over the head with it. You know what I mean? You say something today about the Republicans, and you said that they want us to be independent, man. Yes, I will agree with that. But when you got a lot of people out here trying to rob Peter to pay Paul, you understand? And you know what I mean? And they barely making it. You know what I mean? That's what I don't understand when it comes to, the Republicans. To me, it's like the rich get richer. They deal with the rich. And so if you're not rich, you know what I mean? To me, it's like, man, and I could be wrong. I'm just saying in general. The Democrats, man, they're about helping the people. Yeah, they make mistakes, but if you go back over these the Democrat presidents, compared to the Republican presidents, you know what I mean, you will see a big difference. You know what I mean? They ain't go through all the wars and stuff like that. If you go back to Carter and I come out your era, you know what I mean? So, yeah, some of us people want to learn this stuff, man. But some people think their way is the only way. Well, we know differently. You know what I mean? That's why I stay open-minded. You
Right.
know what I mean? To learn, man. But I appreciate you, man, for real. And I just wanted to come up here and show BMO Funk, because, I ain't far.
Right.
Down the road. You know what I mean? In D.C., so go ahead, bro.
And see, I was in Mr. Truth. I was trying to watch it because this is real passionate for me, right? And because I see what's happening, and they all don't believe the hype. They get along together. They get along together. They go to breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and all that. It's just a role they play. And the reason why I'm saying that, because I deal with both parties. I deal with the human beings. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get to know the individual, and their beliefs, or asking them questions like, why did you do this, or why did you do that? But the thing is, with the Republicans and the Democrats, people got to understand we talking about human beings. And some human beings, if they worked hard to make it in life, they want you to do the same things. It's just like they working at McDonald's, they working at Burger King's, they working at Wendy's. They pay taxes too.
Right on.
Even if they get TCA to help them, try to be more productive financially, their money go towards this taxes too. And then what I try to help people understand, when they call themselves cutting out a lot of these programs, well, you don't need to pay no taxes, because that's where your tax money going. All their money, even if they not making 80 or $200,000, but they working, taxes come out. So the thing is, that's what they put back into the community to help the people, is the money that they get for taxes. Now they can create their own money. We can make our own money if needed. But the thing is, look what they doing. They taking a lot of the taxpayers' money that needs to go back into our own playground, and they putting it everywhere else.
Bingo. Bingo.
And y'all agree to it. A lot of people agree to it. I once I started seeing what's happening, and then you got this one guy, right? I don't know if he got a real toupee or what, but he's orange. He's making money off of us. He's capitalizing off of us. It's not about politics with him. And then understand this. It's about Congress. It's about the Senate. It's about, those are the ones that actually create laws and stuff. His goal is only to either agree with it or veto it. And if he veto a bill, Congress can turn it around. Now, come on.
Yeah, that's the scary part that I do know about, man. You know what I mean? Like the president, everybody think the president got some power. He got a little power.
Right.
But he ain't them people that sit over there on Capitol Hill that, you know what I mean, if the president say, well, look, I want to help the poor, I want to build some more shelters or some houses or something like that for the poor, it's got to go from him over there to them. And they look at it like, if that's going to hurt my Bentley payment, my children going to Harvard, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to veto that thing. And I know we're not doing that. And that's that don't, man, I tell you, that's why I don't do politics, you know, but I need to learn because I get angry. I'm angry at all of them. That's why a lot of people didn't vote.
Right.
You understand, this time around, man, because they like, they ain't want her, and then they got this. Well, I almost said something.
I know.
Wrong. Then they got him. You understand? And so, like, that's where a lot of people is at today, man, because they lying. You know what I mean? They say we're going to do this in the debates, and then the minute they get up in there, they do the opposite.
And that's the thing that disappointed me, because be honest, I watched it, and I'm like, you know, they talk a good game, sound real good, and then if you vote them in, they get in, and it's like they turn their backs. And exactly. I seen it personally, and I'm like, y'all mother suckers, you know. But then I realized that when it comes to, excuse me, family, when it comes to, I'm gonna say politics, they all about laws, not the solutions. Right. You know, it's us who has to come up with the solutions to the laws. And that started hitting me. That's why I stay where I'm at. Because once they put laws, put them into, once they become laws, you have to encourage and motivate the people. If it's certain things that will improve their lives, then you encourage them, you empower them, you help them understand that they got programs now for this, they have programs for that. You do that. But then if they create laws that tend to tear them apart, you still got to build them back up so they won't get discouraged and break the laws, because the laws, if they break them, you go to prison. Real simple. You get punished. You get punished. So that's why, for me, to be honest with you, I just got to the point, I said, whatever laws they create, being in the community, being on the ground, we have to come up with ways and means for people to abide by the laws. Real simple. Thank you, God, for putting that word in. To abide by the laws, because you break them, you over there in that big old slave plantation, the prison. And that's all it is. It's all it is, you know. And then on top of that, I'm going to say this, and truth, if you want to talk, you can talk. But look, once I realized, and I read up on it early on, once I realized, and boy, when Obama became president, that was the most amazing thing in my life. You know, first black man. Well, they say African-American man, right? But look, when I realized from reading up and studying about this and realizing that the president does not hold the power the way we think they do. It's Congress. Exactly. And then I kind of felt a little disappointed, because now I'm like, and not to take away from it, that's why I'm amazed at what this guy right here doing. But then I have to remember, it's not him. It's not him. It's Congress. It's not him. It's Congress. He's just the one that everybody pointing fingers at. But it's not him. And then I'm looking at the Republican Party itself. I'm like, y'all mother suckers. Y'all mother suckers, right? Because now I understand what their goal is. But if you're not providing programs or money towards these programs to help them teach the people, y'all steady talking about cutting out programs.
Exactly.
I'm like, wait a minute, this is not y'all mission statement. Y'all talking about cutting them out. Then food stamps. You know, then y'all talking about HUD housing, working, you know, cutting out Section 8s for some people and all of that. We know a lot of that stuff is only temporarily. But the thing is, you got to create ways and means for them to be able to work off of depending on their state and government money.
Right.
And what I said on top of this truth, we can get a woman, I'm going to say with 5 children, the man not helping her. So 9 times out of 10, you put her in, she want to go to nursing. She want to go to cosmetology school. She want to just do something with professionally, like, right? With 5 kids, I said to myself, she'll be making between 20, 30 hours an hour, something like that. You know, she'll be making money. But the thing is, will she make enough to be able to feed her children?
Exactly.
5 of them. So in that process of me doing what I do, I realized that some of them is still going to have to rely on that SNAP program. Even though we trying to help them work off of it. But in reality, it all depends on how many children they got, because they might have to pay regular rent. They might can't get the Section 8. They might can't get the low income housing because they have a professional career-minded job. You know, so when you got a job like that, normally your job is the ones that pay for your health benefits. They pay for your life insurance. They pay for your 401k. You putting money into your retirement. You doing all of that with the company itself. So it's the company that provide those things, even though you pay into them as well. So now that covers you a lot. But yeah, will you make enough to be able? And I'm just looking at the woman herself, you know, because she's there, that single mother with 5 kids. And people be saying, well, she shouldn't have this, she shouldn't have that. Don't shoulda, coulda, woulda when they got 5 kids. Don't do it. Exactly. The point is to see how we can help them to be more independent. Right. That's where I'm at with it all. So, you know, I listen to a lot of ignorant people and what they say, you know. Number one, and I'm going to say this to our brothers or to our men, you know, good and freaking well, if you sleep with a woman and you don't wear protection, there's a 99%. There's 99% that she can get pregnant.
There you go.
Real simple. And if you sitting up here and you feel like this, well, you went in it without it. And if she get pregnant, don't complain. The goal is, if you want to avoid all of that, strap up.
I'm right on.
Real simple. Strap up. Don't, cause now I can point the finger at the woman. Don't get it wrong. I don't like balloons. I don't like them. But when it come to it, if she really want me to put one on, I'm gonna put it on. Wow. But other than that, I don't like them. I'm just being straight out. I'm a raw man. But God dang it, I'm hearing stuff flying around now. Since I ain't had smacks in 7 years, I don't even know about now. Y'all got aliens spreading amongst each other. I'm like, what?
Oh, man.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Matter of fact, if you meet somebody, tell them your first date, meet me at the clinic. Yeah.
That's what it sounded like. Show me your my chart.
You know what I mean?
I'm telling you.
So we'll know what you dealing with, and I'll know what I'm dealing with. And then we can go from there. Yeah. And a lot of people scared to do that.
Right. Know? So I'm just saying it, right? Because I'm hearing a lot over here that normally I don't, just being in public, but I'm learning a lot, you know, what to do, what not to do. And that's what I'm getting from here, family. And you know, I'm serious when it comes to our people. I don't play. I don't, if you want to sit back, and I think about it a lot, say his ego, his pride, he this, he that, you got there going right. Don't make me lay you out. Because I'm telling you, it takes a lot of courage and confidence to step up to the plate like I do. And see, I'll sit back and I look at a lot of us, and I can call y'all suckers. I can call you suckers. I can say you scared, because basically a lot of y'all, that's all you do is sit back and complain rather than getting out and fighting for what you want out of life. And then you famous for the YT this, the YT that. No, nobody can stop you from moving forward in life but you. And that's what I learned. That's what I learned in life. So wait a minute, Truth, you want to say something?
No, I think you were firing on all cylinders. Really, I mean, if I was going to add anything else to it, I'd really just, reiterate what I told you before, as far as when it comes to politics, because you're going to have to work with both sides.
Right.
Try to keep the politics, at least the ones that are confrontational, the ones that are heated, the ones that are serious between the two parties. You don't always have to bring that stuff up. You can really just talk about the subject at hand, and you got to put it one way when it's a Republican, and you got to put